What's up, beautiful people? This is Nate here.
Kev.
2/3 of the super group that is GamesMusicLyfe. We're back with the review that everyone's been waiting on.
Yeah, but
This K-Dot.
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar.
Ooh, damn.
So we didn't get Nation, which is the rumor. We were going to get another album.
We
didn't yet. Okay. I still think it's coming.
It might be, man.
Yeah.
Keep hope alive.
Keep hope alive. I don't know. I'm glad it didn't come out on Easter. My brain couldn't handle another album.
Right.
Because it was just too much to unpack in here. We'll talk about it as we go through our review. But so yeah, man, this is Kendrick Lamar's considered his fourth studio album if you count Untitled Unmastered, man. Highly anticipated. It was pushed back a week from the initial launch date. The lead single for this project was Humble, which debuted at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts and Canadian, Hot 100 too. Ooh. Tough word there.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the album art. The album art is not something that's appealing to me. It was created by the same artist who did do the first two.
Really?
Yeah, same guy who did the first two album art. So it sounds like Kendrick might have put his input on this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, the last two projects, To Pimp a Butterfly and Untitled Unmastered, which were throwaway tracks for To Pimp a Butterfly, and it's a pretty decent project as well. All right, man, so let's get into it, man. So track 1, Blood. All right, man, this one, it seemed like a true intro to a movie or a short play instead of an album. The background vocals stood out to me initially, but the spoken word from Kendrick holds your attention and made me stay engaged to the track. It ends abruptly and goes into a Fox News excerpt. An excellent way to start the project. Kind of odd, but I'll accept it.
Yeah, I ain't really got much to say about this one, man. For me, this track was just, okay, we here, man.
Okay.
Let's get things ramped up. Let's go.
Okay. So leading to track 2, DNA. What'd you think?
First thing, man, those 808s on that track are just
they were so rumbling though.
They were just filthy. They were just filthy, man.
Yeah.
Kendrick comes through, man. His flow just so aggressive, man. It just sounded like he was just attacking the beat the whole way through, man. There were so many great transitions throughout this song, man. From the bridge to the second verse, when that Rick James sample comes in there, man, and then the 808s turn up even louder. I mean, like those 808s got to ignorant levels to the point where if you in the car and you got a nice little system in there,
right?
It's shaking your chest. You can't hear Kendrick anymore.
Absolutely,
it's just so old school hip hop, like, man. You know what I'm saying? It's taking your breath away. It's hitting so hard, man. With Rick James just screaming in there, man. Kendrick was just starting off this album, man. He wasn't letting up. He was letting all the haters know that, hey, he here. You know what I'm saying? He got a lot in his DNA. Let's go.
Okay. No doubt, man. Mike Will, I mean, the beat just shines on this track, like you said. I mean, the heavy bass and the drums are just silly. I have written down silly drums on this one, man. The transition towards the last 30%, it just gives you the stank face.
Yeah.
Anyone who listens to music, you know what I mean with that stank face. K-Dot is speaking to the cloth he's cut from and how he's different from the pack. He's talking his ish. I mean, this is absolutely a dope track.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say about that one. All right, man. So leads into track 3, Yah. Now, this one's a short track, kind of a dreamy beat. The drums and keys stand out. And K-Dot's flow is kind of singy, but spoken wordish. He touches on social views and him wanting to be considered an Israelite and not black, which I thought was very telling on the album. At that point, I'm like, okay, he's going there on this album. Even though it's a short track, a lot to unpack on this track, though. But I rock with it.
Yeah, man. First thing that hit me on here was the transition from DNA to Yah, bruh. Like that, it was so smooth. This track is so laid back, so smooth. Like typically on an album, when you have the pacing up there, you shouldn't be able to draw back or dial back this much and have it still working. For him to switch the pace of the album right there was just flawless in my opinion. Kid Capri was a very nice touch on this track and a lot of touch on a lot of tracks.
New York rappers should be upset with themselves.
Yeah, they slept. They slept. But Kendrick put him up on game, man. Man, the sleepy, kind of lazy flow, I felt like really complements the track with precision. I love the peek into his life, just kind of letting people know where he's at right now, talking about some of his worries, his fears, his joys. The line that really stuck out on here was when he was talking about his niece, she said that's Uncle Kendrick. That's the business. Like, come on, like it don't get no better than that. It don't get no better than that. Yeah. And I mean, all the way swinging that back to talking about Geraldo and how Geraldo spoke about him or in those news clips or whatever. I thought that was it was excellent.
Yeah, definitely call people out. I like that too. All right, man. So leading to track 4, Element. What'd you think?
I love the energy on this track, man. It starts off downplayed and laid back, and then we get into Kendrick's vocals, and they just kind of take center stage on this track. He leads in with like this really bouncy, awkward drums that are really soft. Then also, like, once we get, I'd say about a minute into the track, man, we get these just dreary, dreamy, just dripping keys that are just playing through. They sound out of place, but it just works, man.
So James Blake factor. No,
we
both do that.
I love the juvenile flow on the third verse here, man. It was random, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Kendrick was letting it be known that, he's the best. He's the best, and if he got to prove it, he'll prove it with style. So
no doubt,
like
man.
this.
Okay, I mean, my lord, man, this beat is flat out dumb.
Yeah.
I mean, straight up, man. The transitions that go in and out, back and forth is head not worthy. James Blake ushered a hand in writing and producing on this track. K-Dot is on his soapbox and seems to be speaking to the competition and how he sticks to his script. Kid Capri stands out, on this track once again. Like I said, New York rappers should be upset with themselves that somebody didn't pull Kid Capri out the tuck like this, because Kid Capri is a legend. All right, but definitely a dope track, man. So leads into track 5, Feel. I mean, an upbeat, dreamy vibe on this beat, man. K-Dot's voice is elevated, and I felt this track was passionate and meant a lot to what he wanted to get off his chest. Seemed personal and spoke on his perspective on his rank above the rest and how he feels. To this point, this is my favorite track. The way he switches the flow towards the end is just classic Kendrick. No one can really, I don't think anyone could do that, but him. Eminem did it. But I don't think anyone else really can go in and out the way he does. But he really was talking his stuff on this one, and it really, like, if an alien came down and I wanted to, somebody said, "What is Kendrick?" I would definitely let him listen to this track. Would be one of them. All right, man. So yeah, that's it. That's all I had to say.
I feel you, man. The "Don't Let Me Down" sample at the beginning of this is just way too good a way to start off this track. Like, oh my god! And then the opening lines, man. Ain't nobody praying for me.
Yeah.
Like, bro, how powerful is that? You know what I'm saying? Just to start off the track that way. Then. The album, we have already made 100 turns by this point. There's been so many dips, dives, and transitions, so many different styles and flows, rhythms on here, man. And this is just another dive into a different direction. And he's doing this all seamlessly. Now we get, this kind of mellow O.C. Smith drum sample setting this jazzy vibe, man. Shout out to Thundercat as well. I heard you on that bass.
Yeah, we heard you.
Feeling that.
Yeah.
And, it just fits perfect on the vibe of the track, man. Kendrick just going through the stories of, self-isolation and the world just falling apart around him, and just kind of going through how he feels about it, what he's feeling, what he's not feeling. And then the way that the energy picks up as the track progresses, like, you can just hear the passion in his voice. Like, everything counts on here. You know what I'm saying? It's just amazing. It's just amazing.
Did you feel like he left, like he was basically, in my opinion on this track, it felt like he was saying he felt he was the best, but the pressure that come with it, like, who's gonna worry about me though?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like he was talking to God almost. I felt that. I got goosebumps even listening to it. Like, it's like he was telling everybody, like, I'm the best, this is how I feel, but who's gonna worry about me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I got from it.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, deep track.
Excellent.
All right, man. So leading to track 6, Loyalty, featuring Yana. What'd you think, man?
Man, how did we even get here? How do we get here at this point? I mean, Kendrick's really just not letting up, man. Putting the world on notice that he can just do anything and everything stylistically. Track has an R&B 90s vibe to it. With, how do you work in Bruno Mars 24 Karat Magic this quick?
Yeah.
I mean, that song came out at the end of last summer.
It was a banger.
At the earliest.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Like,
yes.
How do you do this, man? Rihanna comes through, man. I thought she fit the track perfectly. I loved her verse, man. She came in there, she swagged it out.
She did.
You know what I'm saying?
She did.
Really threw a little bit of sauce in there, man. And Kendrick, he followed pace just the same. It seems like he was kind of following the formula from his last couple of albums, man. You always kind of get that dreamy kind of love song on there, man. That if these walls could talk, or that poetic justice, and we were getting that on this track. So with it, man, boom. You know what I'm saying? R&B vibe, Kendrick, right back to track.
I mean, just like you said, man, the samples on this track stood out so much to me. 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars, Shimmy Shimmy Ya by ODB, and Get Your Mind Right, Mommy by Jay-Z. They just stood out to me so much, man. I picked up on the ODB one and the 24 Karat Magic. I didn't pick up on the Jay-Z one. I had to look that one up. The heavy bass and drums stand out once again on this track. Kind of a sexy vibe, and ask the listener, what are you loyal to? Rihanna gives a good offering and adds the sexy touch I feel they were going for on the track. Definitely a perfect marriage on this one, man, so I rocked with it.
Yeah.
All right, man, so track 7, Pride. The background vocals and Kendrick's slow flow stand out on this track. Slow down beat. I felt this track was just okay. Like, this one's the only one I can say I liked it. I'll accept it, I should say, on the album. I'm not a huge fan of this track, but it was okay.
I feel you. First of all, for me, man, Steve Lacy's intro was a great way to kick off this track and switch the focus from kind of that pop or R&B vibe that we were getting on Loyalty. Now, this track gives me a heavy, like, Andre 3000 vibe on it.
Dang, it does. Yes,
he sounds
it does.
a lot like Andre on, The Love Below, and those guitars sound like they were sent down from Prince. I love the touch that he put on, bending his pitch throughout the whole song, man, just to kind of give it that kind of dreamy or eerie vibe throughout. It made the track feel kind of woozy or off balance, which I thought that was dope. I love the verses that were touching on some of Kendrick's thoughts as far as faith and religion, as that's been a big theme throughout the album up to this point, as well as him trying to kind of come to terms with his own shortcomings, or kind of forgive himself for his own shortfalls. I thought it fit perfect.
Okay, no doubt, man. Now, at least in the track 8, Humble, do you want to go over this one? Might as well.
Yeah, we can.
What'd you think? Go ahead.
Man, of course, lead single. I love the menacing sound on this track with, just these heavy keys just taking just the front room. If you ask me, I think Dre has something to do with this track.
Absolutely. I think Dre had a lot to do with a lot of them.
He definitely has.
Because Mike Will sounds a little bit Dre light.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little Dre light on here.
Just the way that he's just bouncing on those keys, man.
Yeah.
It just reminds me of Dre for whatever reason, man. With it, man, I thought it was a simple song, but it was fun, man. It kept the pace, man. It kept the album feeling witty and a lot of fun, man. Just Kendrick bragging, showing off a little bit, man. I thought it was dope.
Absolutely, man. So like I said, Mike Will made it. Does his thing once again. The piano and bass loop shine on this one. Kendrick rips it, man. I mean, it seemed the vocals were made after the beat or vice versa, because it fit like a perfect puzzle. It's like his flow matched the beat, and it just like perfect pitch, everything. And like I said, I don't think it's coincidence. Mike Will has been doing some great things lately. He's making some good beats, and I'm definitely checking him out. But he sounds like Dre light on this album. The two offerings he's given have been two of the best beats I've heard in a long time. Yeah. Like he put his foot in. So I think it's Dre light. We see you, Dre, man. I know you out there. All right, man. So leads in the track track 9, Lust. Now this one had a Parliament funkadelic feel to me, man. Heavy funk track. The dirty bass and chorus just it has a throwback vibe to it. Not too many artists can pull off the sound off on this track the way that Kendrick did, man. And to me, it spotlights once again why Kendrick is so dope. Yeah. I feel he rapped I love the way he rapped from both male and female perspectives, if you picked up on that. And like I said, I just think this dude was in his pocket once again on this track, man. I loved it.
I feel you, man. First thing that hit me on this track, man, is that the beat is just super awkward. It reminded me a lot of She Lives in My Lap and Vibrate from The Love Below Again on here. The way that kind of the record is playing in reverse, you're kind of getting that reverse effect on there in the background. I thought that was dope. Again, all the different styles take center stage for Kendrick. Again, singing on the hook to his drowsy flow that kind of drags on out through the whole song, man. I loved all the breaks and the pauses and the way that the whole song was arranged. Again, man, another one.
Okay.
Another one.
All right, man. So track 10, Love, featuring Zakari. What'd you think?
How did we get here?
I don't know.
We get this seems like a full Kendrick pop track with him singing all through it. Like, I didn't know that this man had that in the
Me neither. I didn't know he had it in the pocket
You
either.
know what I'm saying? I didn't
not.
know that was part of his skill set, man. I never thought I'd see that the day that came along. But the way that this track fits the kind of themes on this album and speaks on love as opposed to lust from the previous track, I thought that was amazing. It sounded like a track that he made for his girl, just to let her know how important she is. You know what I'm saying? A real love thing versus a lust thing.
Right.
Yeah.
There
you go.
I mean, definitely mirror your thoughts, man. I didn't understand. I didn't think he could do it. It took me back a little bit when I went back and started listening to the track again. Like, this is Kendrick Lamar singing. Yeah. Like, he's really just singing right now. I thought Dreamlight did a good job on this one, man. This dude Sakari, he sounded like the Dream in my opinion. So just listening to it, like I said, sonically, he pulled it off. Yeah. He really pulled it off, and I thought it was a dope track. All right, man. So leads in the track 11. XXX or XXX featuring U2. First of all, I was worried about this one. When I first saw the writing, I said, U2, I don't know if he could pull this off. It came off very well. It came off better than I ever would have expected it to, man. The transitions on this one stand out, to me. The bars are the star of this one, though. K-Dot spazzes on the first verse and goes with a slowed down flow on the second verse. Once again, this is where he once again shines and he switches it up the flow, man. The U2 feature was put up, like I said, better than I thought it was going to be. It sounded really Rick Rubin-ish, but a very dope track, man. This is a very dope track.
I feel you. For me, man, this is my favorite track on the whole album.
Okay.
The 808s are back and they're just nasty as ever. The breaks that we get in and, kind of the distortion that we get on the beat, I thought that they were just bananas, and that's all before the track just goes ape shit.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my god. Like, I mean, once Kendrick gets going, like, it's just so gritty, so grimy, so fast paced, so much energy. And what really impresses me about Kendrick is, like, he does not lack on these bars at all. Like, he doesn't lean on just his flow being there for him, man. Like, every bar means something, and he's really trying to push these stories on through, man. And the different topics, the way that he touches on those topics are just amazing. You know, from a friend coming to him looking for compassion, you know what I'm saying, knowing that he's a guy in tune with his spiritual side. And Kendrick just flat out like, yo, I ain't got nothing for you, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's nothing but anger and aggression just waiting for you, man. And, I mean, he's just giving it to you raw. And then for the whole style of the song to just flip, and U2, how you get Bono on the most gangster song on the whole album?
Right.
Where does that even work anymore?
Right.
Like, how did we get Bono on here, man? Like, and it didn't sound out of place at all,
No,
man.
it didn't.
The whole pacing of the song, like that stuff shouldn't work, but he made it happen, man.
Normally we see a feature like this, like, you know, like in a patch, see Nelly with I forget what the dude's name was. It was the hottest country artist at the time. Yeah. You think like, okay, they're going for the bag, and like when I saw it, that's what I was a little worried about. Like maybe he was doing this, but like it came off so well.
I didn't know what to expect, but I mean that went over very, very well.
Very well. All right, man. So listen to track 12, Fear. What'd you think?
Man, the bridge was a great way to set the tone with this track. Just again going back into the spiritual aspects of the album, and then Kendrick telling 3 different stories of his greatest fears throughout life. I thought that was dope. You know what I'm saying? From being a kid to, you know, being a young adult to, you know, being a full grown adult, and still having things that like were just terrifying him down to the bone or down to his core or whatever. Like I thought that was dope, man. I love the smooth soul sample for this track. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's a slow down track, like you said, man. Kendrick flow fits the slow down, dreary track. He mentions a lot of the previous track titles in the verses, and it seemed like the artist was, you know, like he died on this track. Like he actually just like died on this track. At this point is where I listened to the album. I was trying to think of potential concepts, so maybe he was reaching at, and I still haven't figured it out. But I thought that at that point, that's when my gears started grinding, thinking about a concept on it. But it's definitely a very dope track. Leading to track 13, my lord, how did we get here once again? Like, once again, I didn't know the guy could pull off singing. Now, unlike the previous one, this one sounds better. Like, he actually sounds like he put cats on notice, like in this one, because like, and I'm not gonna put out Drake because I like Drake. I'm a Drake fan, but the fact that the guy can rap this good and also sound sonically like this on a track is like, I found myself singing it around the crib. I found myself going around the crib singing the hook on this one a lot, man. You know, definitely has a happy tone. The drums are just infectious, man. K-Dot is singing and rapping in a good way. Like I said, man, dope track.
Yeah,
dope
man.
Track.
First thing that hits me, man, is I love how glamorous this beat comes through. You know, we didn't get a whole lot of really pretty polished production on this album, but at this point, I felt like this was really kind of the glammed up sound outside of maybe Loyalty. With it, man, I really like Kendrick coming through with that bouncy kind of slurred flow, just switching styles every 8 bars or so, man. I thought that was super dope. Yeah, there you go.
All right, man. Let's listen to the last track of the album, Duckworth.
That coup de grace, man.
What'd you
First
think?
of all, my God. Ninth Wonder, he spazzed with all those beats, man. Like my goodness, like we just take a moment, man, and show appreciation for the legend that is Ninth Wonder.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, like, it seems like, oh boy, he takes breaks here and there, man, and then he just comes through and just slap you in the face with something that just reminds you why he is who he is.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. And he has a sound too.
Yeah, like that's Black Album J right there. Like that's just nasty. That's just nasty. But man, I felt like this was a perfect way to close out the album, man. It was just pure rapping, no hook.
Right.
Just Kendrick just going all out to the walls, man. So many styles, so much substance. The storytelling was impeccable, man. To me, this was just the epitome of hip hop in this
Absolutely.
track. I mean, look at the beat selection, the flows, the styles.
How crazy of a story is that we are now, what, maybe 6-7 years into Kendrick's career, and we're just now hearing the story.
But even if that story wasn't true, which it is a true story.
It is a true story, but even if it wasn't, that is very dope.
That was an amazing story.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that it was true just put the icing on the cake, man.
Absolutely. He points it out during the song. He tells you, listen to me.
Yeah.
He tells you, like, listen to what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So, like, you know, this is Meet the Parents 2017 from Jay-Z. First off, Ninth Wonder placed his entire body into this track. The transitions are some of the best I've ever heard. Each beat change topped the next one. It's like every beat just kept getting better and better. Right. Kendrick tells the story of his pops and his current manager, Top Dog's history. Surprise, this was never spoke about, like I said before. I found myself following the story like a book. You know, Kendrick's storytelling, it just shines on here. Once again, this is where he shines. This is what Kendrick Lamar does, man. All right, man. So I'm gonna leave it up to you. All in all, you go first. What'd you think of the project?
All right, man. Now y'all just have to bear with me a second because I
gotta use the bleep button again.
You know, maybe.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
I'll try to keep it cool, man. But you know, this type of music, man, it just elicits those types of feelings. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, For me, it was like this album was such an adventure, and I mean, just getting to track 5 was like so emotional. It was such a journey to go through. Like, you don't get that with rap music anymore,
right?
Like, not really. Like how we got it on here, man. I was a little bit worried actually coming into this album because I mean, depending on where you want to kind of place this in Kendrick's catalog, man, this may be 3rd, 4th album, depending on what you consider Untitled Unmastered in Section 80. But it was just like, yo, he shouldn't be able to do this.
No,
like he shouldn't be able to put projects like this out. I mean, just from top to bottom, all the different styles that he was able to, you know, dabble in and just check off effortlessly.
Yeah.
You don't get that from artists these days.
Right.
Like, I listened to this album. I ain't gonna lie, man. The world stopped when this album dropped.
Absolutely.
I mean,
we all knew. The memes that all came out. Like, I mean,
everything went away.
Everything went away.
You know, I'm going to tell you how crazy this album was, man. Frank Ocean actually dropped a new track on Friday. You didn't know that.
Nah. There's a lot of stuff came out. Lil Dragon, Frank Ocean. A lot of big artists dropped some stuff.
I'm saying this Frank Ocean. And, like, I mean, just we didn't even know he dropped anything because this album just had that kind of impact. And for an artist to come out and just deliver like this way, it's just crazy. Like, I didn't want to like this album. I wanted to find something that I didn't like about this album or something to nitpick against it because all the love was there. All the praise was just being heaped there. But it's like when you get a guy who just marks off all the boxes. I mean, creativity is a check.
Yeah.
Songwriting is a check. Flow is a check. Beat selection is a check. You know what I'm saying? Storytelling is a check. Like, what is this guy missing? And for me, this album was so ambitious, yet it was his most palatable.
Yes.
How does this happen?
Yeah.
For me, man, I felt like this work was fantastic. Like, I had been looking for a new rap album to listen to. Like, everything had kind of been letting me down. I've been listening to a lot of R&B, man, but this is now my go-to. Like, there's nothing on this album that I want to skip. Like, top to bottom, it just gives you that old feeling back.
Yes,
you know
absolutely.
what I'm saying? And the way that he goes from sampling, you know, some of these younger cats, like these young hip hop electronic groups that are coming out, man, and he's incorporating that with older soul samples, man. You know what I'm saying? He's going out, he's picking up producers like Ninth Wonder. He's picking up, you know, your Alchemists out there, man. He's going to go get DJ Dahi and all those guys, man, bringing them into these projects. Yet, I mean, he can dabble with Rihanna to U2 to James Blake, and I mean, make this incredible music. And these people weren't stealing the show from him. He was still the headliner throughout this whole album. Yeah. And like, man, it was 100.
Okay.
It was 100. Okay. I had to go there, man.
Okay.
I didn't want to,
hey, I understand.
It's 100.
I understand, man. One thing I mentioned is like in my group chat, I'm in a fantasy football league with some older cats and then myself. And after listening to the album, I had to position to them like at this point we have to talk about him being one of the top 5 ever.
You have to.
We have to because you know this is not his 3rd project going in. We're talking about impact, and I brought it up on the podcast before. This guy was doing African dances in the Grammys last year. That right there, he gave us To Pimp a Butterfly for us. Like he gave us that album. And that's something that he gave us and then came right back with this one. And then for it to just be all over the place, and I did feel like the album was a little bit bipolar, but in my own selfish reasons, I love the fact that it was like that because he dabbled at every angle and let us see what kind of artist he is. Just like you said, the features, most albums, features take over. You look at, okay, who's he featuring? Okay, cool. They might body this track. At no point did we feel like it was a whoever's track featuring Kendrick. It was always his track, and the person he had on there was sprinkled a little bit onto it. Yeah. I sent this album because as I get older, I have people that are older than me, like I said, who gave up on hip-hop. They gave up on the cookie-cutter image of everybody sounding like Drake and everybody sounding like Chris Brown or Chris Brown sounding like Drake. It was like there was no in-between. Like, who's the spitters out here? And I sent this link to 4 or 5 people that I knew gave up on hip-hop, and they all thanked me. They all called me, not text me. They called me and thanked me for sending them this. And I had conversations with my baby sister about it, and just like, it was such a breath of fresh air. Because like you said, when this came out, it was like the world stopped. Everyone was like, okay, let's see what Kendrick got to say. And by damn it, he just gave us everything we wanted. To the point where people couldn't even enjoy Easter because we thought another album was going to come out. Right. I'm over, you know, my wife's grandparents' house, and I'm wondering, checking my phone, like if another album is going to come out. My mind can't handle it. I'm still digesting this one. Yeah. This will be in my playlist for quite some time, and definitely is in discussions for Rap Album of the Year. Not to crap on Ross, not to crap on Joey Badass and other projects I'm forgetting right now, but this album surely was just something that I needed. I mean, rap needed this, and it brought people together. And like I said, for New York artists, you should be ashamed of yourself because he went and got Kid Capri. I'll be honest with you, I even forgot about him, but he went and got him and had Kid Capri there. And like even with Kid Capri there, it potential concepts of the album. I'm just throwing concepts out because I don't even think about the concept because I can't get through unpacking the music. The music was just crazy. And for him to get Ninth Wonder, we haven't heard Ninth Wonder on almost any projects in a while. Yeah, but for him, for him to be there, and then for Dre Light, Dre, you were in there. I don't care what you say. You and Mike Will were together on this, man. So, and I warned my sister when I said it, man. This was definitely gonna be my first perfect rating. It was 100. I really can't take. I wanted to. Even as an old head, I kind of was like, okay, I'm not gonna give it up to the young boy just as of yet. But after listening to this, I'm like, yo,
that album is a classic.
We have to talk about it, man.
I mean, like it's so hip hop.
Yes,
it is the epitome of hip hop.
Yes,
like oh man, you know when I really started to kind of catch it, just watching the conversations. First of all, it seemed like nobody wanted to review this album,
right? Because as you see, this is late. This is late for us.
This is late, but I mean, just across across the board, it seems like everybody waited to review this.
Absolutely,
there was just so much to unpack.
Yes,
and when I really started to notice that the conversation was shifting was. Did you notice like nobody's talking about this album in comparison to anything else other than Kendrick's other albums?
But what did we do with the greats? We did that with Jay. All we did was compare Jay to Jay.
We're only comparing him to his own.
Absolutely,
because that should let you know.
Because he's so much higher and above everyone else. Yeah. He's clear and cut. Like there's no debate about it. He's clearly the best rapper out right now.
Yeah.
You know,
listen, man, it might end up being a whole nother video once I unpack a little bit more.
Yeah, I do want to talk about the concept, but I do think that one thing that we're going to end this here. But there's a homie court coming up because I want to get some of the older heads on here. I want to talk to him about it, man, because he's at the table, man. And I called him my boys. I told him, I said, look, I've grabbed my chisel and I've grabbed my shovel. I'm about to go update my Mount Rushmore. If you don't come stop me and talk me off this cliff, I want to talk about it.
Yeah, man, they ought to pick up some tools and help you out, man.
Absolutely, man.
Because that boy, he deserved that spot.
Yeah, but absolutely. But let us know what you guys think, man. Was we too high, too low? What did you think of the Kendrick? Leave in the comments below. We check all the comments, man. So, as always, man, it's Nate here.
It's Kev.
2/3 of the super group that is GamesMusicLyfe. Drink more water, people.
Peace.
Peace.